Hey guys, today I'm going to be taking a look at this 1/10 scale brushless buggy by LRP. Sorry I kind of have it on the back of my car here and the lighting's not the best. I had it reviewed like 3 times and I was having troubles with my camera inside. Now my family's home, my kids are home, and I'm kind of designated to the garage at the moment. So I apologize for some of the unprofessional setup here. But anyway, this is really a nice little 1/10 scale buggy. I really like the way this thing drives. It's called the S10 Blast 2 or the BXBL 2. I don't know exactly what name LRP exactly wants for it. Of course, LRP kind of has their logo here of blue is better. Let's take a look at the box it comes in. It comes in a nice attractive box and has a lot of information on it, though not all the information on here is 100% correct. Let's take a look at it here. It says here that it has a 4300 kV motor, and that is incorrect. It's actually a 3300 kV motor. And the controller, as you can see sitting up here on the back of my car, is not the same as what's packaged. And I'll kind of go over in a minute why I think all that is. But otherwise, you know, it's really nicely professionally packaged, and it mentions here also the slipper clutch, which it does have. And I'm hoping that it does look like this. And I'll explain also why I'm hoping that the gears in this car are different than what I suspect it possibly could be. So let's move back and take a look at the car. Now the car comes with full oil-filled shocks, and they are plastic, but they're pretty nice. They have sway bars in the front and the back to help with stability. It says it uses VTEC racing tires. They seem to be really nice and glued to the rims. Just the car itself runs really nice. It probably does about 25 miles per hour. You know, not super fast. It runs only on a 2S LiPo, and you get a runtime probably around 20 minutes out of that. So let's go ahead and we'll look underneath the body here. Take the body clips off and toss these in my pockets so I don't lose them. And go ahead and pull it off here and take a look under the inside, underneath the hood, I guess you could say. And if you've seen other reviews on my channel, or you own anything by ZD Racing, you probably might immediately say, well, this looks awfully familiar. Well, yeah, it does. What I think happened here is I think LRP contracted ZD Racing out of China to actually build these vehicles using some of ZD's parts. Either that or LRP may have gone out of business and ZD Racing bought them out. I don't know, because it has a lot of LRP branding. It's going to be hard to see here in the lighting in the garage on my action cam, but it's got LRP here on the front bumper. It's got LRP here on the front and the rear of this stability bracket, and it's got LRP here on top of the battery bracket here. But a lot of this other stuff looks like ZD Racing. This is certainly the ZD Racing 3300 kV motor. It doesn't have the logo. This is a 45 amp ESC, and this is the receiver box enclosure. This is identical to how they lay it out, along with the on and off switch here like this, these fuses now that in the ZD Racing 9106 truck that I have. It seems though the differentials feel really nice. So I'm thinking that I use LRP's gears. I don't think it, I'm guessing, and I'm just guessing here, that it does not use the ZD Racing, because some of the newer ZD Racing trucks have had issues with the differentials incorrectly assembled, issues with the differential slipping and stuff, and none of this seems to be an issue with this vehicle. Now the most giving thing, and the most telling I should say, reason why ZD Racing is involved is because of the battery. This is a 2400 milliamp 25C hard case LiPo that says ZD Racing right on it. Now, this is the exact same battery that comes with the 9106 truck. It's one of these hard packs. It actually has the plugs on it, a little different. Nice battery though. I like the one that comes with my truck. It's got a good kick, good power to it, and a good long run time around, well, probably 20 minutes or so. Now the charger that comes with it is also similar to what some chargers that ZD Racing includes, and that's this little, it says it's an IMAX. It's obviously not made by Sky RC, but IMAX RC B3 Pro charger. It just charges off the balance ports. So you can do 2 or a 3S LiPo. It comes with a US plug there, so you don't have to worry about any adapters. That's going to take several hours to charge with this. So of course, you know, most people buy something like this are going to have a hobby grade charger. You're going to charge it up a lot quicker. The controller is also what ZD Racing's been including with their newer cars. Now my older, my ZD9106 is like a year old. It comes with a different one. I like that controller a little better than this one. But this is still a nice controller. Foam on the wheel is comfortable. Takes 4 AA, so I don't think it's going to have the greatest range. You've got your servo reversing here for your steering and throttle. It's got a bind button. It's got some lights here, lights up, see when you turn on red and green. You got your steering and your throttle trim and your steering dual rates here, which allows you to limit the steering radius. So that's always nice, especially if you have it for a younger kid or someone and they, you know, don't need to peel out as much or whatever and spin it around. And of course your throttle and your reverse and your brakes. So real basic on that. The only real spare parts it comes with here is just some double-sided tape, a few of these little plastic little gear things, and some zip ties. So very basic in terms of the parts. It has a very big, large instruction manual in multiple languages. It tells you about camber and toe in and toe out and how to do all that, which is really informational and good. All the spare part list of spare parts, and an exploded view of all how to assemble and reassemble everything, you know, deassemble and reassemble everything. Though I don't know if it's 100% accurate, considering that, you know, ZD Racing is obviously involved in the manufacture of this car, and it appears that, you know, at least initially that was not the plans for this car. Obviously a 4300 kV would be faster, but you're getting a longer runtime in the 3300, I believe. And like I said, overall I really like it. It jumps very well. It's very well balanced. You know, just overall a nice little buggy in the $150 price range. You can see the slipper clutch here. This is the same aluminum shaft, just like ZD Racing uses in the 9106 truck. So like I said, I really like the way it runs. It's a little bit noisy. I think it's just all the metal dog bones and gears and stuff. It's a little noisy of a car, but that, you know, that's not a really big issue to me at all. So that should wrap it up for this like kind of spur of the moment, I guess you could call it, table review, and we'll go ahead and move along now to the drive review. Okay guys, so I have the LRP buggy here, the S10 Blast 2, all bound up, ready to go. See, it's kind of loud, those dog bones, everything's just a little bit loud. I'm going to do it here in front of my house. I would rather have gone to the park where I did my Maximus review, but we've had so much rain and it had been such a dry winter. Now we just had ridiculous amount of rain, so I've caught a break here in the rain, so I'm going to take advantage of driving it here while I can, because if I get to the park it may be pouring by that point. So we'll just go ahead and drive it around here. It's also extremely windy, so I'm probably going to stand on one edge of my garage because I don't want a bunch of wind in the mic. So let's go ahead and take it out here. One thing to be mindful of is this ESC in here is kind of cramped with the wires above it, and if you press down on the body you can push those wires into the ESC and actually obstruct the fan, which it causes it to overheat. Now I've heard some other people have having problems with it actually doing it just inside this without any pressing down on it, you know, just it's inside of the body doing that. So just kind of lift those wires up and check it and make sure your fan's unobstructed, because obviously if it is being obstructed while it's driving, it's going to overheat and blow the ESC out. So let's go ahead and toss it down here, take it out and drive it. You see, fairly quick, not super fast, but it's only running on a 2S LiPo. I don't think it's quite as quick as my ZD9106, and the reason obviously I'm comparing that, if you didn't watch the tape review portion, which is really back of my car, it uses the same ZD Racing, you know, motor and ESC. So I'm thinking it's geared different, but I think it seems like the gears are really good. So it seems like, you know, LRP, they're still using a lot of more higher end LRP parts. So like I said, it's really my only complaint really is it's just kind of noisy, but that's really not a huge deal. You see it very well balanced when it jumps. Look at that. Doesn't yeah, there it flipped. So it's going to flip occasionally, but really overall it's pretty well balanced. This curb out here is never the best for jumping. Can be a little bit too steep of a jump. I do need to make a ramp, and I don't have one right offhand, and it's not been, the weather's just not been ideal to try to do any kind of ramp, and I don't want to put a cardboard ramp out here and have it start to rain on it and get it soggy. So, but overall, generally it jumps, you see, really nice. That's really level and well balanced. Brakes good. Yeah, very nice jumps, very, very nice. Four-wheel drive with the tires, you know, these tires that you seem to have really good grip, so it's not like slipping around, sliding much on me, unless it's wet. You know, if I drive in my garage where it's wet and a very slick pavement, it's going to still peel out. But I've had some cars that will peel out on my driveway here, and four-wheel drive ones, and this one doesn't. So very good grip, very good traction. That's what you want. The medium this uses the same motor and ESC as the ZD Racing. I'm certain you can put 3S LiPo in this. I've actually got a 3S LiPo that I could put in it. I'm not going to mess with that right at this point. Oh, back on its wheels, very nice. Just to give you an idea how it's going to run out of the box. You probably could add another, you might add another 10 miles per hour if you run a 3S LiPo on this. And the fact that the gears seem really good, I don't think you're going to have any problem ripping the gears up on 3S, but again, that's speculation, so don't hold me to that. Well, I know on the ZD Racing 9106, 3S can be a bit much if you don't modify or upgrade the gears. And this, like I said, I don't think it's going to be a problem on this one. But again, that's just speculation, so you'd have to do some, you know, testing yourself. But I think for 100, you know, I think it's around $140 to $150. The last I checked, the RC18 off code that I will have in the description did take the price down, so I think it was in the 140s at the time. So you can, I think for that price, it's a pretty good buy. I mean, it's similarly priced to my HSP buggy, and they seem to be pretty similar in build quality and speed. Both run 2S, and they both have the same KV motors, so real similar. I really like the look of this too. I like that low profile, sleek body, and the all blue. Getting a lot of straw on it. We got so much straw from the house across the street where they had to plant some seeds when they finished up the house. And that straw is just sitting there all winter. So hopefully we got at least a few jumps in here. Obviously I'd like to, you know, get some better jumps. That was a pretty good one. All that straw on it looks kind of silly. You could also change up some of the gearing ratios, the pinion gear, stuff like that. It'd probably increase the acceleration of the top end. That's going to be pretty simple to do. I'm not sure what pitch the gears are. I'm guessing they're probably, I think, was it 48 pitch? I'm not exactly sure on that. It just really, like I said, it runs really nice. It's really well balanced. It also steers, the handles very well. I mean, it has a nice has a nice turning radius when you get the steering, the dual rates all the way at max. Really nice, handles really well. And I said it jumps really well. I saw one other video. I don't usually watch too many other reviews. I don't want to like cheat. But I was curious on this one because it came up in my suggested videos. I don't remember who the reviewer was. It was a good review. But he had a really big ramp in his backyard, and this thing jumped really nice. So it might have been CCXRC. Might have been his channel. Definitely check out his review if you see it, because he's got that big ramp, and it really jumped awesome. I mean, he was landing real nice, smooth jumps. And he also commented on how good the handling is. So I think that's what the channel it was. He does quite a bit of RC car reviews. All that straw hanging off of it looks so funny. All the straw everywhere. Looks like I must have bumped the throttle trim on it. It's kind of creeping forward on me. There we go. Must have bumped the throttle trim because when I stopped, it was creeping forward on me there. Again, I love to get this in my trucks and stuff out in the snow, but man, it's getting late in winter now, and we just have had nothing. Nothing. Had some last weekend, about a ½ inch, and I didn't have time to even get out. It was all melted away. It was melted away by 11 o'clock in the morning. Didn't have any charged batteries. But this would be a nice car, an entry-level brushless car for somebody. It handles well, it's well built. And you can certainly upgrade this to, you know, a faster motor, different gearing, more powerful 3S LiPo, higher amp ESC. There's a lot of modifications you can do to this, so you could probably get it up to more competition quality if you wanted to. Right now, it'd be too slow to be competition, I think, unless you were in a specific class that the criteria that it, you know, like an entry-level class or something. But just for bashing around your front yard, this is a great beginner car and very well built. See, it's not even peeling out here now. If my driveway was wet, it probably would a little bit. But for your regular, everyday driving conditions, it does very, very good. But it is obviously caked with leaves and straw and everything under the sun out here because of all the crappy weather and everything. So I'm going to pull the straw out. Well, I think that should give you an idea what this S10 Blast 2 buggy can do. No sense continually running around in circles out here. Obviously, I'd like to have it out there at the park where I could take it out for some bigger jumps, which maybe I can do here in the future once the weather cooperates. So that should wrap up the review of the LRP. Blue is better. S10 Blast 2. Check the video description for a purchase link if you're interested in it, and I'll also include that discount code so you can lower the price. So stay tuned for more videos, guys, and hope everybody has a good day.
The power of the dark side.